How you doing, everybody? Uh, it's I think the 25th of March, and taking a little hike up one of my favorite places to be. This little dirt road here behind me um, runs along the south fork of the Boise River, which is right down there. One of my favorite places to come during the summer, late summer, really, and fall into close to winter before they close the place down. You can't drive motorized vehicles up here on this road until after May 1st, which is, a ways away still, but you can still hike it. And so I'm heading east this way, and I don't know how far I'll go, and I don't know if I will come across some trails. There's supposed to be some trails out here on the north side of the road. But we'll see. The rivers are going to be on the south side, so there probably aren't going to be any trails going down that way. And I'm not really sure how far they are. I've got a map, but it has no scale on it. Can you believe that? But it has like campgrounds that are along the road marked, and it does have trails, and it does have feeder creeks listed on there. And so, as you can see, I'm kind of prepared for a little something anyway today. I got my Alice pack. Got my axe, got a tarp, got my poncho just in case it rains. It's supposed to rain later on today, but I don't think I'm going to find any of that up here today. I got my ice spikes in case I run across vast patches of snow and ice, which I have already since I've been hiking. You can kind of see up there. There's a little bit, and because the sun's been out, it's kind of icy, so I brought them just in case, but knowing me, I'll probably just slip and slide and never use them. That's kind of how I do this. So anyway, gonna take you along with me. Hope you enjoy it. Well, I've been hiking on the snow for quite a while. You can see up here that, not everything's covered. It is, spring. So things are melting, and even on this road, if we kind of stay in the shade of the trees, the snow's not so bad to hike on. Once the sun hits it, which the sun's right there, has hit this patch, at least for now anyway, it's melted some, and now it's back in the shade. But a lot of times, even when the sun's on it, that melted water sitting on top of the snow just turns to ice, and it's just so slick. So I kind of have to go off to the side, but I haven't needed to use my snow spikes, so that's good. The snow's kind of patchy, and honestly, I just as soon not put them on and take them off, and put them on and take them off. That'd be a pain, so I'm just going to slip and slide a little bit. We got the south fork of the Boise right down there, but we got a little ravine running up here that sounds like we're coming to a little bridge right here. Basically a culvert running underneath the road that is feeding down to the Boise. You can kind of hear it if I shut up. Alright. I've come across a couple of wide spots in the trail too already. Here's one of them here. Most of these places I've been to before. Good places to stop and make a coffee, that sort of thing. There was one down on the right about a half mile ago, and then we got this one here. You can camp here if you want. You're in national forest, so it's okay. But this time of year you're packing everything in, which isn't bad because it's not been that far. So apparently there's some pretty big game that likes to come down here. Those hoof prints are wider than my hand. My hands are pretty wide. And trail goes right down in there and leads down to the river. Please pardon me for having my hat backwards. I don't usually wear it like this anymore, but it's so pretty out here. If I wear it the right way, or my way now, can't see anything up there, so I turned it around. So these little tracks here are pretty cool. I hadn't actually seen any yet out here, though I haven't been out here that long. This is a wilderness or a winter habitat for elk out here. That's why we can't drive out here right now. So the unfortunate thing is that since elk are wild, they probably will hear me and smell me long before I even spot any of them. So I probably won't see any out here, I imagine. Now, just for those of you who live in Idaho or around Idaho, just so that you know, like I said before, this is the South Fork of the Boise, and this road I'm on is Road 227, and it is all dirt. It starts dirt in Featherville, which is off in that direction where I'm parked, way down there, out there somewhere, and it leads, and this road just keeps on going until you get to Big Smoky, and it's on the map, so if you want to look it up. But all the places that I like to go to are between here and Big Smoky. And when you get to Big Smoky, if you hang to the right and go over the two bridges, that road will basically take you into Fairfield, which is there by Soldier Mountain and in the Camas Prairie. And then from there, I'm about 35 miles or so from my house, which isn't bad, but it's beautiful running through. I don't care what time of year it is, but during the fall, there's a lot of trees out here that really have a lot of color to them. There's more trees out here than just these pines. So anyway, if you ever get a chance, come up here and check it out. It's kind of pretty, and not a whole lot of people come up here. I like it a lot. This is a pretty good view of the river. It really kind of gives you a clue as to how much snow was out here before it started melting off, especially kind of in that area right there. And I'm telling you, in some of the areas that I've driven up here in this area, like up in the Sawtooth, there's only about a third of the snow this year that there was last year. I'm going out to Denver to see if I can find. I'm going out to Denver to see if I can find that loving Colorado girl of mine. Well, a promise and a smile, shames of mountains tall. Well, the promise and a smile, shades of mountains tall. She can bring the sun shining, tell the rain to fall. Been a long time, Mama, since I heard heard you call my name. Been a long time since I heard you call my name. Gotta see my Colorado girl again. I'll be there tomorrow. Mama, don't you cry. I'll be there tomorrow. Mama, don't you cry. Gotta kiss these lonesome Texas blues goodbye. Gotta kiss these lonesome Texas blues goodbye. It's my Pathfinder's cup. And I discovered that my Stanley lid fits right on. So you have a part of the Stanley product on there in a much smaller container. I mean, this is perfect. I got 20 ounces of river water in there. And so it's going to make a nice big coffee. Pardon my jacket. It's killing that little tree right there. We are somewhere around 6,500 to 7,000 feet here. Pretty sure. Never really measured it, but I'm pretty sure that that's about what it is. It's gorgeous up here, and it might be 55 degrees up here right now. It's great, beautiful. Let's get this coffee done. Maybe we can have a little lunch too. Still having my coffee out of my Pathfinder cup, as you can see there. I got another pot on. That's my GSI Minimalist, and it has a little bit of ramen in there. Nothing fancy today. I'd say it's done. Let's eat. Hey, I'm about ready to bust up my little spot here and get back on the trail, head back to the car. But while I was sitting here eating my lunch, which pretty close to dinner now, I mean it's like 3:30 or something like that. Every time I come outside, my lunch is always late, and a lot of times it's breakfast too. Tell you what, if I were out here all the time, instead of home or working and that sort of thing, I don't think I would be as hungry as I am, because I'd be doing more stuff. But while I was eating my ramen, I was thinking about something that I wanted to share. It's no big deal, and you guys probably do it too, but you know, even though spring's here and winter's over, there's still a lot of places out there that are, you know, getting pretty cold at night still. It does here. And sometimes when you're out and you want to have yourself a meal at your camp, especially if you're doing an overnighter, you know, you want to make sure that you have something that is going to kind of keep your boiler going at night so that you can go to sleep, but not something heavy, just something to keep your body warm. We all got good sleeping bags and wool blankets and that sort of thing. But something very simple that I like to do, we all like different kinds of foods. You know, having something close to gourmet is a great little thing when you're out in the woods. But I am far and away fine and okay with ramen. I just made some. It was very good. It's going to be a good carbohydrate load for on the way back to the car, which I don't know how far, maybe 5 miles or so. And I'll have that a lot. I mean, I have had that a lot when I've been out camping, whether it's not going to be a super cold night or whether it is. But what I try to do, and you know, just to kind of keep myself warm when I get into bed, I'll usually eat maybe about an hour before. But I'll take that 1 pack of ramen, and I like to bust it up kind of small and put it in a sandwich bag. It seems to fit a little better in the pack. I mean, not a lot better, but a little better. And I usually will bring 2 because my brain always is telling me that I need more food than I got. So I'll bring 2 packs. But in that little sandwich bag, I'll put the smashed up ramen with the flavor packet, and I'll put a little bit of dried onion bit and a little bit of dried celery just to kind of add to it a little bit. And I didn't do it today, but most of the time I'll throw in a little bit of beef jerky to give me a little more protein out of it. And it's usually pretty tasty. I try not to use the whole flavor packet because there's just so much salt in there. You don't really need all that salt. But the thing is that even during the winter, if you're out hiking or in the cold weather, you're expending salt because you're usually sweating. I mean, just because we wear layers up against our skin to keep us from getting wet doesn't mean that our body isn't losing fluid. It just doesn't stay on our skin. So you do kind of need to replenish some of that salt. But more importantly, maybe, is you got to rehydrate. I think that when we're out, we're hiking along and we're working hard getting to our destination, and we finally find our spot and we set up camp, we're pretty darn tired for the most part. And we got to eat. But I don't think sometimes a lot of us, and myself included, hydrate well enough. And so what I do, a little trick that I do with the ramen, not a big trick, just a little trick. I don't know how much it calls for when it comes to water. I think it's 2 cups, maybe, something like that. I will double that, and or I'll put 1 extra cup in there, something to make it real brothy. And then maybe only use half of the flavor packet to kind of keep the salt out. I mean, the thing's got like 700 milligrams of salt. We don't really need much more. I mean, that's like close to 30% of our daily need. But what I do that for is for 2 reasons. It's nice and comforting if it's cold or it's going to get cold. It's a very comforting food. I think everybody or a lot of people like the taste. but I put the extra liquid in there to rehydrate more. I would just as soon drink that broth as I would drink water, because if I'm tired, I just don't want to drink water, but I will get hungry. And I think, I'm not an expert, but I just think that it helps hydrate you. And if you can bring along a little bit of, just a few bits and pieces of maybe some broccoli, or a slice of cabbage, like in a little wedge, about like that. Throw that down in there. It just adds to it. Gives you a little more. Broccoli would be better than cabbage, probably. Cabbage is like cellulose, and the body doesn't really do much with it, I'm pretty sure. But that was just a little tip. I didn't do that this time because, I'm not camping out. But just thought I'd share that with you. Give it a try, especially if it's going to be a cold night and you tend to get a little cold in the sack. Yeah, just make sure that you get that water nice and boiled, especially if you get water from a river like I did today. And remember, it's ramen. You don't have to boil that stuff for 10 minutes. Okay, usually about the time that it's ready to boil, or it's been boiling for 30 seconds or so, that stuff's ready to eat. Okay, so the reason I'm saying that is I don't want you to boil away too much of your water. I'm trying to make a suggestion for rehydration, and boiling it away and concentrating the food is going to do nothing but, waste water. So anyway, there you go. I am going to pack up my stuff and head on out of here. The wind's starting to kick up. We're supposed to have some weather come in where I live later on tonight. We're closer to it here than I am where I live. And off in the distance I see it's getting a little bit darker. So the wind is telling me that the storms are coming. So, alright. Leave no trace. Don't want to ruin all this. Alright, let's go.